Light No Fire is the upcoming open-world fantasy multiplayer game by Hello Games, the developer of No Man's Sky, and this video is about why I think it's going to be one of the best games of the next decade. I am super excited about it, and I have 3 reasons why I think it's going to be incredible. Alright, that's it, let's get into it. Alright, so let's just get one thing out of the way real quick. No matter what any other reason people give, including myself, for why Light No Fire is going to be incredible, the real reason is simple. It's being made by Hello Games. This is the developer that launched No Man's Sky, an absolute train wreck on launch. They overpromised, massively underdelivered, and sparked one of the biggest backlashes from a gaming community probably ever, but at least in recent memory. And yet, nearly a decade later, through relentless support and countless free updates, they've transformed that creative but fairly mediocre game at launch into what many now consider to be a genuine masterpiece, myself included. They're a developer that has shown themselves to be full of integrity, passion, and who genuinely seem to want to do right by their games and their community. That's the real reason Light No Fire is going to be brilliant, because Sean Murray and his team are behind it. The other thing I should state up front is that my assumption, looking at the trailer and everything that Sean said so far about the game, is that Light No Fire is basically taking all of the tech and the game engine from No Man's Sky and then reworking it and reskinning it all for Light No Fire. There are definitely a ton of similarities between the two games from just appearances alone, and so everything I talk about in this video will be based on this assumption that they're both using the same core tech. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's get into my first reason. It probably goes without saying that one of the things I think most people are looking forward to in this game is flying dragons. However, I gotta say, the flight model in No Man's Sky is something that has always bothered me. The way I would describe the way the ships feel in the game would be floaty. Your ship's basically always moving forward. You can't ever come to a complete stop, and you have no movement at all laterally or vertically. In other words, you can't strafe or go up and down. You can really just go forward, and I don't even think you can go backwards. Except in space, I think you can go backwards in space. Compare that to the more simulation-heavy space games like Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, which utilize a 6 degrees of freedom flight model, which is used in many other space sim games. And without getting into the weeds of simulating spaceflight, to me at least, feels the most realistic and satisfying way to do it when you're flying a spaceship. However, if we then transfer that floaty flight model over to the context of flying dragons and birds, it makes perfect sense. As we all know, birds don't have thrusters on their sides, bottoms, or tops that would allow them to strafe or move vertically. And with a few rare exceptions, they can't hover in place. And so utilizing No Man's Sky's flight model in Light No Fire is basically the perfect application of it. Honestly, flying ships in that game has always felt like flying a dragon, and now I actually will be. And there's more. Rideable flying creatures have been in No Man's Sky for quite a while now. It's not something that most players do often, but honestly, I highly recommend trying it. It feels really good, like the creature has a mind of its own. You're not really controlling it directly, you're giving it guidance, asking it to go this way or that. And it reminds me of how horses work in Red Dead Redemption 2, which has the best horse mechanics, I'm sure you'll agree, of any game ever made. In that game, it feels like you're communicating with a living animal. You're trying to get it to bend to your will. You're not steering it like it's a car. And it's just beautifully done. And if Hello Games can bring that kind of feeling to Light No Fire, using everything they've learned about flying creatures in No Man's Sky, I think we're in for something truly special. Okay, I'm really sorry to say this, but I don't like the multi-tool in No Man's Sky. I know a lot of people are probably going to hate me for that, but I'm just not a multi-tool guy. One thing I've always wanted in No Man's Sky is more primitive weapons. A spear, a sword, a pickaxe, something that makes me feel like I'm firing a real projectile or interacting directly with the ground, not just zapping it with a laser. And also, rather than just being different modes that we switch between, which to me feels like I'm playing with menus and toggling switches, I want to actually put my weapon away and pull out something else. And when we look at the trailer for Light No Fire, we can see characters using bows, axes, all kinds of different tools and weapons. And this just looks wonderful to me. And I don't know, I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I'm just so pumped to play primitive No Man's Sky. It's gonna be awesome. So I don't know how many of you knew this, but when No Man's Sky first launched, it was pretty much just a single player game. It had its own form of multiplayer, similar to what you find in the Kojima game Death Stranding, where you can see messages from other players and see signs of them in your world. But other than that, it was a single player game at launch, with multiplayer added later and then iterated upon and fleshed out to what it is today. However, Light No Fire, according to their marketing, seems to have been built from the ground up with multiplayer as a core feature. And this is something that I'm so incredibly excited about. In No Man's Sky, the multiplayer always felt like it was tacked on, because it was. For instance, you can't share houses with your friends. You can build together, but you don't really both own it together. And so with desync and other stuff going on, if you try to live with your buddy, and I have, it just ends up feeling pretty janky. And so the best you can manage is building near each other and just being neighbors. And I hate this. I want to get together with my bro, this is my bro, build a house together, build a farm, harvest our crops together. I want to share vehicles, resources, land, everything. And I know it might be wishful thinking, but if Light No Fire is being built with co-op gameplay in mind from the very beginning, I'm hopeful that it'll include these kinds of core co-op features. If not, I'll cry, probably a lot, but for now I'm going to assume that it will, and I'm going to be happy. And that's it, guys. Those are all the reasons that I think Light No Fire is going to be truly something special. I don't think I've looked forward to a game this much since, well, Arc Raiders. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that. I'll probably cover that on this channel as well. But yeah, probably since No Man's Sky, honestly. That game was something that I knew was going to be amazing, and I was so disappointed when it came out at launch. Although I did play it a lot at launch as well. But yeah, it was definitely overpromised. But I think with everything that Hello Games has learned over the years and their amazing support of No Man's Sky, I just cannot imagine them making the same mistakes again. And I think they're going to make sure that Light No Fire is just an absolute work of art. And it might not be perfect. No game is. No Man's Sky, as you can see from this video, I mean, I don't think it's a perfect game at all. And I don't even play it much these days, but it is definitely a quality game, and the support that that studio has given it and continues to give it is second to none. I mean, I have so much respect for Hello Games and for Sean Murray. So yeah, cannot wait for Light No Fire to come out. I'm going to be covering it extensively on this channel. So if you're looking for any channels that are going to be doing Light No Fire content, then make sure you sub so you don't miss that. But yeah, super excited. And that's it, guys. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.